ng video and you can share it to your friends, even those who are not here. Ayan, sa inyong mga families. And for our pilot episode, we have our first guest. She is a clinical practitioner at Apollo Clinic since 2015. She has a medical degree from the University of the East Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Medical Center and had her residency in pediatrics at the Philippine Children's Medical Hospital or Medical Center. Ayan, so to discuss about the health of children during this winter season, let us all welcome Dr. Mary Grace Salilig Morelos.
Hello, Kabayans. Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for inviting me over also.
Yeah, we are very glad to have you here on the program. And of course, today's topic is really, really important, lalo na't papasok na ang winter.
Yes.
So, ano-ano ba usually ang mga common illnesses that we experience, especially yung mga kids during the winter season?
Yeah, especially now that the winter season has arrived, no, with the mark of the rain. So we've seen cases already. The common is yung sinasabi nilang trangkaso, the flu. Yeah, so that will be the most common one. And for those who are really prone to have, the ones with allergies, this is also the time that they will have their flares of the allergic rhinitis, asthma, and also yung mga may eczema or they call it the skin asthma nga. Sa Pilipinas, tawag nila skin asthma.
Is it because dahil yung weather ay nagda-dry yung air?
Yeah. So the skin tends to become dry and then the temperature changes between indoor and outdoor become significant. Kaya minsan naninibago yung katawan natin. And also, this is also the time when the flu virus or other viruses are also becoming more kasi nagsusurvive sila sa ganito.
Exactly. And medyo we are now in a very challenging time. We are still in the midst of pandemic. So how do we really cope and address the flu during this period, and how should people react?
So actually, what the pandemic did was the people started wearing masks earlier.
Right.
So in a way, parang it helped in a way that they were able to not have the virus and then hindi rin sila na-infect kaagad. So I see cases now, it's because kids are starting to go back to school again. So naninibago sila when they go in and out of their house, go to school, then daycare is also there. Parents are starting to work. From before, it was work from home, so it was becoming more. But the thing is, what you can do is to become healthy. I keep on telling them, when you go out, keep yourself warm. And then when you have to be hydrated adequately, because when the weather is cold, you tend to ayaw mo uminom ng tubig.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Actually,
hindi ka nauuhaw.
I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
Pag nilalamig kasi ako, parang medyo madalas ako mapa-CR.
Para ayaw mo na. So, syempre, with the kids, you have to tell them that because, you need water. Your body needs water.
Right.
Then, ang pinakamahirap pagawa sa kanila is to eat healthily. Because at this time, you really have to have a balanced diet. I think with the pandemic, they were advised earlier to do this. So, I'm happy to see some of my kids po talaga eh. Some of my patients are now eating properly and then nagigain ng weight because of they were just home the whole time monitored ng parents. But, syempre, mahirap din sabihan na you have to eat. You have to eat vegetables, you have to eat fruits, ganyan. So, they have to do that as well. And then, most importantly, sleep. Sleep. So for kids, lalo na ngayon, they tend to stay home, so they sleep late, they wake up late. So walang oras talaga. And sometimes, yun na nga, that makes them prone to be ill also when they go out of the house. So sila yung unang victim na mahawaan talaga.
But actually, I heard, I don't know whether this is true, but in the recent months, bumaba daw ang cases ng flu even during the time na bago matapos yung winter, earlier this year. Is that something related to people being careful already because nagsimula na yung pandemic noong time na yun?
Yeah, and even the use of antibiotics is not very common. Although sa viruses naman you don't use antibiotics, but it has been less. And then siguro because of the advocacy of the ministry, yeah, with the flu vaccine, it also helped also na ma-prevent yung sakit. So
Right.
it curved that way.
Well, it's good to know na medyo
Yeah,
nabawasan yung
kaya
mga may
nga.
sakit ng flu. We will be discussing more about, the importance on how to protect ourselves, the things that we can do to protect ourselves and our family members. Shortly after this break, again, you are tuning to Qabayan Radio, and you are hearing for the first time the first episode of The Doctor Is In. Once again, tune in to us and we'll be back for more.
Narito na ang buy one get one free mega offer mula sa lahat ng Damasco watches. Tama! May libre kang relo kung bibili ka ng Casio G-Shock, Police, Titan o Western Watch. Kaya kabayan, ano pang hinihintay mo? Tumungo na sa pinakamalapit na Damasco Watch outlet. Offer valid from 26 November to 5th December 2020.
Qatar National Day just got more exciting for Mira Rewards members. Almira is giving away over 1,000 prizes, 10,000 reals in cash to 20 lucky winners, 50 iPhone 11s, 50 smart TVs, and 1,000 winners will receive 50,000 Mira Rewards points. Shop with Almira today and enter the e-raffle automatically. One raffle entry per every 50 reals spent. December 1st to December 15th. Visit Almira and don't miss your chance to win. Terms and conditions apply.
You're still tuned in here to Qabayan Radio 94.3. Of course, this is the very first or the pilot episode of The Doctor Is In. And earlier we were discussing about children's health during this time of the winter season. And again, here with me is Dr. Mary Grace Salilig Morelos. Ayan, good
Hi
afternoon
again.
again. So ayan, sabi natin before the break, we will talk about the things na pwede nating gawin during the winter season. And especially now, do we advise people na iwasan muna din lumabas, or gawin din natin yung paglabas as part of our physical activity?
Prior to the pandemic, I usually encourage for families, I encourage them to go out para may
Right.
exercise sila. And even with the pandemic, I only tell them, you can still go out briefly, but outdoors. I don't usually advise them to stay inside the mall for a long time. Kasi
Right.
syempre, confined spaces, and then, some
Right.
people will still not wear masks. Some are confident they won't get infected. So, for me, I still encourage them. Kasi mahirap kasi if you stay indoors, because the fact that you're just indoor, it means you can also spread the virus among yourselves.
Right, exactly.
So the thing is, when you go outdoor, you exercise kasi it gives you better resistance and it improves your immunity. So sinasabi ko yan sa kanila that they have to go out pa rin. Even just 30 minutes to 1 hour of walking
Right.
outdoors, then go
As in
back
yung talagang
in.
sa labas, hindi yung sa loob ng mall.
Hindi.
Much better. And is it all better to do it during the daytime or any other time?
Wala naman particular time of the day. Especially now that the sun sets early din naman. So,
Right.
it's not an issue. And the temperature is tolerable. Just keep yourself warm lang
I see,
talaga.
okay. Because I'm thinking about yung sunlight. I don't know whether it's relevant because I've read somewhere long time ago na kapag winter season daw, depression kicks in primarily because people don't see too much light, and kapag lagi daw madilim, nade-depress daw ang tao. So I don't know if this is also the case for,
Yeah.
lalo na pa sa mga bata.
Yeah,
ano?
but if you have people around you, you won't feel lonely, di ba?
Aray ko.
You have friends, you have family, you have people around you, then I don't think magiging
Medyo na
lonely.
medyo na paano pa ako dun pagka ikaw mag-isa. Mag-isa po kasi ako dito sa Qatar. My family's not here, but yeah, I do have a lot of friends
Yeah.
who always come over to my place. Ayan, nag-enjoy naman din kami.
Yeah, you can do outdoor activities together.
right.
Even before, like, most of my patients have been going to the beach, but no, I advise against it kasi nga malamig na talaga. So,
Right.
parks will do, once in a while, you can go out din naman talaga.
Right. Are there like any restrictions in terms of the food that people should avoid during winter, or wala naman?
Well, I usually let them limit their sweets, which is whole year round naman talaga. Junks and everything. That's why
Right.
balanced diet pa din. Pero I keep on telling them na siguro yung papang precaution, like, you have to wear your mask when it's needed, especially. Pero dito kasi, when you're exercising, ang hirap kasi when wear mask. But social distancing is very important. Then you have to teach the kids the importance of washing their hands, no?
Right.
Not picking everything that they see. Nasa age kasi, some kids are at the age where they put things in their mouth right away. So yung mga ganon.
Right.
So you have to tell them that also.
So when people get, like for example, mga symptoms ng flu, what do you think should be the best course of action, especially during this time of pandemic? Kasi minsan, di ba, parang mapaparanoid ka na nagkaroon ako ng symptoms. Should I already go to the hospital, or maybe pwede pa akong mag-self-assess? Hintayin ko muna 1 or 2 days, kapag medyo gumrabe, punta na ako. Pero kung hindi naman, baka normal na flu lang ito at pwede ako uminom ng mag-self-medicate, kumbaga.
I'll talk on the behalf of the pediatrics lang.
Yes.
Joke lang. Hindi, actually, I don't ask them to go. For me kasi, fever will always be there. The symptoms between the flu and the COVID are similar.
Right, exactly.
But the character of the cough, yun lang talaga yung distinct sa kanila. But for kids, it's been, thankfully, kids haven't been that affected by the virus. So, very low talaga.
Okay.
So, when they have fever, syempre, you just manage the fever. You give them the medicines for fever. Kung may sipon, bigyan mo ng gamot for the sipon. Then, 2-3 days. But if it's, let's say, 1 day, ang taas ng fever, then ayaw kumain, and very weak, then you really have to bring them to the emergency for that.
I see. And is it also a good thing to do na kumuga magpa-vaccine for flu? I mean, the flu vaccine.
I strongly advise for it talaga.
Yeah, because even the government of Qatar, right? Right
they're
now,
giving it for free.
and they are targeting to have more vaccinations this year than in any other year.
Yeah. As to date, they already vaccinated more than 130,000 na. So,
Wow.
for the entire Qatar. And it's marami talaga. Even in our clinics, we're also part of the campaign. So, we give the flu vaccines for free. So,
I
they
see.
just have to set an appointment, for the vaccination. Kasi
Right.
ayaw namin mag-crowd yung mga tao sa clinic.
Oh, so they can go and visit your clinic and get a flu vaccine for free.
Yes,
And
it's
this
from
is-
the government. This is their
Wow.
campaign. So they're
Okay.
distributing it even to private clinics to help them with the flu campaign also.
Right.
Yeah.
But how old should a person be? I mean, is there like a minimum age for
So,
flu vaccine?
At age 6 months.
6 months, okay.
They can have the vaccine already.
So ang aga pala, pwede na agad-agad.
Pwede na, yeah. And especially those at risk. So, pinaka-high risk is the less than 5 years old and the above 60.
But
Sila yun.
for people who are quite hesitant, what is your advice in terms of vaccine? Kasi merong mga ibang tao na ayaw nila magpa-vaccine. Medyo takot. Lalo na even in the Philippines, because we had this vaccine scare for the dengue
Yeah.
before. And sa Philippines, even for the other types of vaccine, biglang nag-drop down. And now, people are quite, apprehensive in terms of whether they should get a vaccine or not. Is it safe?
Yes, it is safe. So, ako personally, I encourage, because I take flu vaccines ever since parang more than 10 years. Mga 10 years na rin nata ako kumukuha ng more than 10 years na ako nag-flu vaccine every year. And it helps me. So, that's why I encourage the people to take the vaccine. So, mga takot, just think of this as something that would protect your loved ones. Kasi once you have the flu and you're with someone na high risk, then you're also putting them at risk. So, just think of it as that way, to protect your loved ones as well. And even the kids, syempre, it doesn't guarantee na hindi ka magkasakit. Kasi aside from flu, there are other viruses. But it will lessen the severity of the symptoms kasi.
Right, exactly. And right now, before we wrap up, I would just like to ask, is there like any other last suggestion or guidelines na pwede mong bahagi sa ating mga listeners on how they can protect themselves, on how they can protect especially their children?
Nasabi ko nata. Anyway, what else?
Alright.
Just follow just keep yourself protected by, of course, frequent hand washing, and then even with the festive season, just try to limit the people you go out with, and then stay healthy by eating right, and then sleep adequately. And for those na may sensitive skin, this is the time to moisturize yourselves also. with a good lotion for that, to keep your skin healthy also.
Right. Thank you very much. Is there
Yes.
anyone whom you would like to greet?
Pwede ba?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'd like to say hi to my husband. Yeah, Bubu Louie, hi, ganun.
And they're here in Qatar?
Yeah, he's here in Qatar. And then my DHC family. Yeah, they are very supportive, and mga kapwa naming Filipino doctors from Filipino Medical Association Qatar, and of course my community in Couples for Christ.
Right. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you so much.
joining us here on the very first episode of The Doctor is In. Once again, that was Dr. Mary Grace Salilig Morelos.
Thank you.
Discussing,
It's a pleasure.
discussing about health of the children, particularly during this winter season. And later, after the break, we will be having more discussion, and we will be talking about diabetes and how to manage this type of disease. And we will be joined in by another doctor. But for now, we'll go on a short break. Once again, thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mary Grace.
Thank you so much.
And stay tuned in to Qabayan Radio for more information about health and wellness. This is Kenzo for The Playground.
First and only Pinoy music station, 94.3 Qabayan Radio.
Kabayan. Ugaliing mag-ingat at protektahan ang sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019 o COVID-19. Laging maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig o hand sanitizer. Siguraduhing malinis ang inyong mga kamay sa lahat ng oras. Pagkatapos umubo o bumahing, bago kumain, pagkatapos gumamit ng banyo, at pagkatapos humawak sa mga hayop. Iwasan rin ang paghawak sa inyong ilong, mata, at bibig nang madumi ang kamay. Kapag uubo o babahing, takpan ng ilong at bibig gamit ang malinis na napkin o tissue at siguruhing itapon ito agad sa tamang basurahan matapos gamitin. Kung walang napkin o tissue, gamitin ang inyong sleeve para magtakip. Tandaan, huwag gagamitin ang kamay. Subukang umiwas sa mga taong may sintomas ng respiratory diseases tulad ng madalas na pag-ubo at pagbahing. Kung ikaw naman ang may sintomas ng flu, gumamit ng face mask para makaiwas sa panghahawa sa iba. Bumisita at magpatingin na rin agad sa pinakamalapit na health center o ospital. Umiwas muna sa pagbiyahe papunta sa mga bansang may coronavirus upang mas makasiguro sa proteksyon at kaligtasan. Paalalang pangkalusugan mula sa Qabayan Radio 94.3.
No handshake policy. Practice social. The closest you can get to the hits. 94.3 Qabayan Radio. Are you ready? Sound check. Check.
Broadcasting in digital.
We're broadcasting live from the heart of Doha, Qatar.
In digital.
You're listening to the first and only
Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Playing all the hits all the time.
The best mix of the music you want to hear.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Stay right here.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
It's Qabayan Joke Time!
Binoy, kumusta grades mo sa online schooling nyo?
Notorio, bukas pa po ibibigay grades namin.
Siguraduhin mo lang, apuhan, na wala kang bagsak, kundi huwag mo na ako tatawaging lolo at wala sa lahi natin yung mahina ang ulo.
Kinabukasan,
Hoy, Binoy, kanina pa kita tinatawag Bakit di ka lumilingon na po, ha? Ano na ang grades mo? Pasado ba o bagsak?
okay lang naman, Torio. Tatakbo lang ako, ha?
Abay, bagsak nga. Makakatikim sa aking bata talaga itong Binoy na ito.
Are you ready? Sound check. Check.
Broadcasting in digital.
We're broadcasting live from the heart of Doha, Qatar.
In digital.
You're listening to the first and only
Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Playing all the hits all the time.
The best mix of the music you want to hear.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Hi, this is Joe.
Hi, I'm Trish. Hey guys, this is Allie. Thank you for being with us all day, every day.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Qatar's first and only Pinoy music station, 94.3 Qabayan Radio.
Kabayan. Ugaliing mag-ingat at protektahan ang sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019 o COVID-19. Laging maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig o hand sanitizer. Siguraduhing malinis ang inyong mga kamay sa lahat ng oras. Pagkatapos umubo o bumahing, bago kumain, pagkatapos gumamit ng banyo, at pagkatapos humawak sa mga hayop. Iwasan rin ang paghawak sa inyong ilong, mata at bibig ng madumi ang kamay. Kapag uubo o babahing, takpan ng ilong at bibig gamit ang malinis na napkin o tissue at siguruhing itapon ito agad sa tamang basurahan matapos gamitin. Kung walang napkin o tissue, gamitin ang inyong sleeve para magtakip. Tandaan, huwag gagamitin ang kamay. Subukang umiwas sa mga taong may sintomas ng respiratory diseases tulad ng madalas na pag-ubo at pagbahing. Kung ikaw naman ang may sintomas ng flu, gumamit ng face mask para makaiwas sa panghahawa sa iba. Bumisita at magpatingin na rin agad sa pinakamalapit na health center o ospital. Umiwas muna sa pagbiyahe papunta sa mga bansang may coronavirus upang mas makasiguro sa proteksyon at kaligtasan. Paalalang pangkalusugan mula sa Qabayan Radio 94.3.
No handshake policy. Practice social. The closest you can get to the hits. 94.3 Qabayan Radio.
What is up? The playground. The playground.
Mga kabayan, magpadala na ng pera sa ating mga loved ones gamit ang Alder app or Alder web and win exciting prizes tulad ng iPhone 12 Pro, Samsung Galaxy A71, and Apple AirPods 2. Promotion period from November 25 until January 21, 2021. Draw date is on January 25, 2021. What are you waiting for? Download the Alder app now, available at Apple Store and Google Play, or visit www.alderexchange.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Qabayan Radio Bulletin Board. Qabayan Radio Bulletin Board. For public service announcements, email info@qabayanfm.com.
The Philippine Association of Safety Engineers Qatar is organizing a year-end event activity in the desert of Al-Khor Al-Udaid or Inland Sea this coming December 10 and 11, 2020. This event is in cooperation with Filipino Four-Wheelers Club and D. Calmado's Band. All members are invited to join the fun and excitement. For more info, please contact the following: Francis Lopez at 3015-7748, Emmy Dasil at 7014-4269, and John Amuyin at 3136-2509. See you there!
Qabayan Radio Bulletin Board. Qabayan Radio Bulletin Board.
Qabayan Radio 94.3. Loud and proud. Mga kababayan. Qabayan Radio 94.3.
It is now 5:32 in the evening or in the afternoon pala. and as I've mentioned earlier, we'll be providing you more information about our health and wellness, and joining me this afternoon to discuss about type 2 diabetes and how to manage it, we have another doctor from the Apollo Clinic. She is a doctor of medicine from the De La Salle Health and Sciences Institute and a diplomate in family medicine from the Philippine Academy of Family Physicians. And once again, thank you for joining us here, Dr. Nanette S. Rivas.
Thank you for having me also. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon din po. And as I mentioned po, we are going to talk about diabetes. Can you tell me more about what diabetes, particularly type 2?
Yes. First of all, we have to know what is diabetes, no? Sa layman's term, it's hyperglycemia, the high blood glucose, no? It is a chronic condition, no, that affects our body metabolize sugar, no, which is an important source of fuel for our body. To better understand diabetes, we have to know the normal pathophysiology, how we use the sugar, no, in our body. So, our body is made up of millions of cells. So, and it needs to have a fuel, no, which is the sugar, glucose. So, we have two major sources of glucose, which is coming from the food and from the liver, no? So, when we eat, the sugar is absorbed in our bloodstream, no? And then it is ready to enter the cells, no? So, but it cannot enter the cells by itself. It has to have the help of the insulin, which is coming from is secreted by the pancreas. Pancreas is located behind the stomach. Insulin is a hormone. no?
Right.
So it goes into the bloodstream, and it is the key for the glucose to enter into the cells, and so we can use it as fuel, as energy.
Right.
So as the bloodstream, no, when it is in the bloodstream, the blood sugar drops, and so the insulin secretion also drops.
Okay.
So when the glucose level are low, for example, we did not eat yet, no?
Right.
Na. So
Yung
we
mga
are
nagpa-fasting.
you're fasting. So meron yan siyang merong backup sa
Right.
liver.
Okay.
No? Sa liver, the liver breaks down glycogen to glucose so that we could use it as fuel as well. No? So, in type 2 diabetes, the process doesn't work like that. No?
Right.
So the sugar keeps on building up into the bloodstream, no? And it's not instead of moving into the cells to be used as a fuel, no, for energy. It is accumulated in the blood.
Right.
No? So it is because, no, in type 2 diabetes, the body is resistant, no, to the insulin effect. So
Right.
that is what we call the insulin resistance. So
Right.
hindi makapasok dahil parang nire-reject siya. No?
I see.
And then since the blood is the glucose keeps on building up in the bloodstream, the pancreas is also keeps on secreting insulin until mapagod siya.
Right.
No? So later on, the pancreas doesn't produce anymore enough insulin, no, to lower down the
So
glucose.
Nagkakaroon na po ng abnormality in terms of the function of the
Yes.
different...
So that's the type 2. In type 1, so totally talaga, because of the autoimmune
Right.
problem, no? Autoimmune, bali, sinisira na ang pancreas, no? So, totally or partial, konti lang ang sisikret ng insulin
Right.
sa type 1 diabetes. So that's why they need insulin as injection, no?
But which one is more dangerous? The type 1 or the type 2 diabetes?
Well, common ngayon is the type 2.
Right.
No?
Is it like 90%? Tama po ba?
Yeah, very common. That's why it is good to discuss because kagaya lang every day I see patients, no, having diabetes, newly diagnosed, or the ones that are chronic patients, no.
And,
So
pero ano po yung mga early signs and symptoms? Like for example, ako po, let's say, for example, I don't really get, kasi you can determine if you have diabetes during your annual physical exams, right? But for some
those are
people,
the screening.
right, right. But for some people who don't have the luxury to get an annual physical exam, is there like a way on how they can perhaps self-assess kahit papaano on whether they are already having symptoms or whether they have diabetes already?
Yun ang problema. If you wait for the signs and symptoms, sometimes it is a late stage already na talagang full-blown diabetes na. So we have to know that signs and symptoms of diabetes are slowly, the onset is slow growing, no? So hindi natin yan siya at the early stage, sometimes wala ka nga mararamdaman as you told, no?
Right.
Walang nararamdaman. So nakikita lang by annual examination, the glucose is high. So by the time na mataas na talaga ang sugar, so the signs and symptoms are there will be an increased thirst, no? Parating nauuhaw, no? Frequent urination, ihi ng ihi. Kaya ihi ng ihi, inom ng tubig. Sabihin, bakit ka, tanungin mo, ihi ka ba ng ihi? Oo, kasi marami din akong iniinom na tubig.
Actually, medyo concerned ko po yan dati kasi madalas ako mag-CR. So, I was like very conscious about, what's happening with my body. Pero wala naman daw po ako ano.
So,
but yeah, that's one of the symptoms. And
another one is, aside from that, parang ano yan marami yan signs and symptoms, no? Increased hunger, no? Parati kang gutom. Pero, kain ka ng kain, pero naglulose ka ng weight.
I see.
That's what unintended weight loss, no?
Right.
And so because of that, you will feel there will be fatigue, no? And then ito mga late stage na ito, blurring of vision, no? Kasi naapektuhan na ang mata.
Right.
So meron ding healing, slow healing source. We have patients, no, na they do not know that they have diabetes until, no? I saw one patient, no, parati siyang merong pigsa.
Oh, okay. No? So that's one sign din po of...
nagkaroon talaga ng time na bigla na he found out na meron siyang diabetes, no?
Okay.
Para hindi siya nawawala ng pigsa, and then yung pigsa niya parang slowly healing, no?
Right.
So pag check namin, so it's really 300 plus as random sugar.
Wow. That's
so
high,
kailangan,
right?
yes, very
and ano
high.
po yung normal
For
levels?
for the random check, no, that means you have eaten already.
Right.
Dapat it's below 140. No?
Okay.
Yeah.
And dito sa Qatar, actually may nabasa po kasi ako nung mga, I don't know whether this was this year or last year, they say that 1/3 of the people who have diabetes don't even know that they have diabetes.
That's what I told you. You don't even know kung nandoon ka pa lang sa early stage. That's why we need to check the patient and grab them, you know, makita mo sila at the early stage.
So,
no?
dapat po talaga yearly tayo nagpapacheck for that. But at what age po usually do we become very conscious na parang every year I'll start doing this type of tests to see whether I can, you know, I'm healthy or, you know, if there's an issue with my body?
Yeah. Since ang type 2 diabetes is not only for people over the age of 45, meron na rin tayong mga younger age groups, no?
Right.
So kung at the age of 10, at the age of puberty, especially kung ang pasyente obese, no?
Right.
Malaki. We have one patient kanina in the clinic. He's 11 years old, obese, no? So, kailangan talaga i-screen for, especially if there is family history of diabetes.
So, would you say po na genetic din po ito?
Yes, so there are risk factors, as we say, no?
But here in Qatar kasi, the prevalence of diabetes is one of the highest actually worldwide. So, our Filipinos are, you know...
sad to say, I have a lot of patients now, no, to Filipinos that are really diabetic, no, and said they need to have maintenance, no.
Okay. So what are the major risk factors po of having diabetes?
Okay, so the factors that may increase you to have the type 2 diabetes is the weight, no, as I mentioned earlier. The weight, if you are obese, no, and then overweight, obese, or the fat distribution,
right?
No?
Saan po ba? Parang napatingin po yata sa inyo yung katabi niyo.
Yung tinatawag na belly fat,
okay.
No? So you have you are increased to have this type 2 diabetes, no, because the more fat, the more insulin resistant. No?
I see.
So, hindi talaga, nagkakaroon talaga ng insulin resistance because of the fat. No?
And ano po yung magiging complications nito? Like for example, now that you're diabetic, what will be happening to your body?
Yes, a lot of complications, no? Especially there will be macrovascular complications, microvascular complications, like you can have heart disease, no, stroke, hypertension, no, even heart attack. No, this is because of atherosclerosis. That means your blood vessels are being thickened because of the concomitant hyperlipidemia. That ang ibig sabihin ng hyperlipidemia, there is such thing we call as diabetic hyperlipidemia. There is increased triglyceride, mataas yung triglyceride, mababa ang good cholesterol, and mataas din ang bad cholesterol.
Right.
No? So, kasama yan. You have to check on that if the patient is diabetic. Kasi this is a risk factor, no, for them to develop cardiovascular diseases.
I
no?
see. Thank you for that information po, no? Lalo na't alam naman talaga natin na ang daming pwedeng maapektuhan kapag meron tayong type 2 diabetes. And yung mga nabanggit ni Doktora ay, naku po, medyo parang minsan nakakatakot. But so...
Hindi lang yun.
Right.
Marami pa tayong mga complications. Pwede ka magkaroon ng kidney failure.
Right,
no?
right.
Magkaroon ka ng retinopathy, yung eye problem, cataract, no? Blindness, no? And then yung nerve damage, no? Yung, wala kang pakiramdam sa lower extremities mo, nasisira ang nerves mo because of the diabetes, no?
Right.
So also because of a poor circulation sa ating blood vessels because of the atherosclerosis, nagkaroon din ng arterial problems, no? So nagkakaroon ng slow healing sa lower extremities, no? Hindi, yung iba hindi pagka nasugatan,
hindi agad gumagaling.
Oo, until nagkaroon na ng gangrene, nangitim na yung kanila mga toes hanggang sa putulin na, no?
Nakakatakot talaga. But these are things that can be avoided, and I would like to discuss further that particular steps on how to, prevent having diabetes, and if in case they have diabetes, paano naman nila i-manage. Of course, we'll be discussing that after this very short break. Once again, you are tuned into Qabayan Radio, and we are having a discussion about diabetes only here at The Doctor Is In, together with the Dr. Nanette S. Rivas. We'll be back after this very short break.
This is the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Kabayan, sumali sa mas mataas na gantimpalang handog ng Shine Gold and Diamonds sa second edition ng Winter Shopping sa Shine. Bumili ng anumang klaseng alahas para maka-avail ng scratch card to have a chance to win instant treats tulad ng mga gold coins, smart TV, mobile phone, tabs, cash voucher, and jewelry. Bisitahin ang Shine Gold and Diamonds outlet sa Gold Souk, Souk Al Najada Souk Wakif, Safari Mall Abu Hamur, at Lulu Hypermarket Garafa. Offer is valid from 1st of November 2020 to January 31st, 2021. Ngayon at kailanman, kailangang bantayan natin ang ating kalusugan at ang bawat isa. Tulad ng Uridu na nagmamalasakit sa mga customers. Dahil sa Hala We Care, maaari nang gamitin ng mga Hala customers ang Uridu app para mag-recharge ng 100 Qatari Riyals o higit pa. Para makakuha ng 400 Qatari Riyals para sa health services, makakatanggap ka ng new health reward sa bawat Hala recharge. Ano pang hinihintay mo? I-avail mo na ang 400 Qatari Riyals health benefits ngayon. I-download ang Uridu app at mag-recharge na. Manatiling konektado, ligtas at malusog sa Uridu.
Kabayan! Narinig mo na ba ang latest? Ang pinakamalaking promotion ng taon, nasa Lulu na! Ang Lulu Super Friday Offers.
Tama! Ang Lulu Super Friday promotion ay nandito na. Naglalakihang discount sa mga piling produkto nila. Gaya ng electronics, smartphones, fashion, accessories, groceries at marami pang iba. Mag-shopping na and get 70% off sa kanilang mga selected product. Pwede ring makakuha ng exclusive online discounts sa www.luluhypermarket.com.
Kaya ano pang hinihintay nyo? Tara na sa Lulu Hypermarket, mga kabayan!
Kulang ba ang budget para punuin ang balikbayan box mo?
Well, don't worry. Sagot na ng Brand Bazaar yan. Punuin ng branded clothes, sapatos, accessories, handbags, pabango, at marami pang iba sa halagang 49 Qatari Riyals. Mag-shopping na sa Brand Bazaar sa first floor ng Gulf Mall. May instant 50 Qatari Riyals gift voucher ka pa kapag namili ka ng halagang 200 Qatari Riyals worth of any of their brands tulad ng Aldo, Birkenstock, Crocs, Tommy Hilfiger, Levi's, Charles & Keith, at marami pang iba. Come and celebrate the tradition of Balikbayan with Brand Bazaar.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go! Qabayan Radio 94.3, the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar. 3 stars and a sun. On air, on ground, and online. Qabayan Radio 94.3 FM.
You are still tuned in to Qabayan Radio 94.3. Of course, we are live on air at 94.3 and on Facebook. So ayan, pwede nyong i-share. But we are down to the last few minutes of The Doctor is In. And of course, we still have Dr. Nanette S. Rivas to discuss about diabetes, particularly type 2. And just before we wrap up po ang ating discussion, I would just like to check or ask you if there are any recommendations for those who don't have diabetes yet. What are your recommendations po? Ano po yung mga pagkain na dapat iwasan or activities na dapat nilang gawin?
So of course, no, para kung if you have family history, don't wait for it to na magkaroon ka. So as early as younger age, no, avoid yung mga you have to have healthy food, no?
Right.
You have to don't wag ka dapat hindi ka tataba, weight loss, no? Physical activity, no? So of course lifestyle change, no?
Right.
So and then regular exercise, no? Okay.
But for those who have diabetes naman po, what are the things that they should be doing?
So the same thing, no? Kung may diabetes, of course, you have to have your medications regularly,
Right.
no? Hindi ka dapat yung parang ningas kugon na ngayon iinumin ko ito, pag nag-okay na ito, babalik na naman ikaw sa uno na kakain ka na naman ng kakain. You have to be disciplined, no?
Right.
So the same thing, you have to have weight loss, you have to eat a healthy diet, no? Alisin ang mga carbs, no, mga saturated fats, yung mga red meat, no?
Right.
Para hindi din ma-affect yung iyong mga lipoproteins, yung iyong mga lipids, no?
Right.
So regular exercise, no? Of course, if you have hypertension, you should control the blood pressure, no? And then control the lipids, no?
Yung sa rice po, since mga Pinoy ay mahilig talaga sa rice.
Staple food natin yan, no? So, we recommend brown rice, no?
Okay.
Mas healthier.
Mga
than
ilang
the
cups
white.
po?
Siguro kung 1 cup ka, hatiin mo, no? Half cup,
Right,
no?
right. Yan, dapat yung mga carbs kasi they turn into sugar, di ba? So, kailangan...
So, more on vegetables, fish, no?
Right.
Fruits, no?
Right. But for some people na may diabetes and they are really looking forward na kumbaga magkaroon sila ng pagkagaling or pagkalunas, is there really like a reversal para sa diabetes po? Particularly type 2?
Kung pre-diabetes, ibig sabihin nandoon ka pa lang sa
Early
stage
stage.
na early before the increased risk of diabetes.
Right.
Pwede yan siya ma-reverse. But you have to have discipline sa sarili, healthy lifestyle. Kasi kung hindi, talagang you will turn into full-blown diabetes. No? Usually, binibigyan mo na namin sila ng 3 months to have their lifestyle change, no?
Right.
Diet, exercise. Pero after 3 months, we repeat the test. Kung talagang umaakyat, they need to have medication.
And
No?
for those po na may full-blown diabetes na there's like no turning back.
It can be controlled.
Controlled.
No, there's no cure
Right.
because it's already in the system.
Right.
But it can be controlled to
Right.
prevent the complications.
I see. So ayan po mga kabayan, I hope you have had learned many things from our program this afternoon. Are there any like last suggestions or recommendations po sa ating mga kababayan na nakikinig?
Ang suggestion ko sa ating mga minamahal na kababayan, no, na maging compliant sila sa kanilang medications, no?
Right.
Na we should love ourselves, no? Kasi yan lang ang ating kapital dito sa Qatar, no? So and visit visit your doctors regularly, no? Kasi
Right.
minsan pasulpot-sulpot lang sila. Pag makita ko, matagal na
Kapag
palang
may
wala
nararamdaman.
na silang maintenance, no? Na-stop na, ganun. So,
Pag may nararamdaman na lang po tsaka bumabalik, ano? So ayan, iwasan po natin yung ganyan.
Yes.
But for our last question na po, is there anyone whom you would like to greet po before
yes,
we end the
of
program?
course. I want to greet my family, my husband who is here with me, Jong, and my kids are listening from the Philippines through
Wow.
your Facebook.
Okay,
No?
that's good to know.
Yes, and my family here in Apollo Clinic, the DHC also,
Right.
which is also very supportive to me, no?
Right.
And then all the beloved kababayans.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Nanette S. Ribas. Thank you for joining us here at Qabayan Radio 94.3. And of course, with this new segment, pilot episode po ng The Doctor is In. And once again, mga kabayan, ayan na, mga doktor na ang nagsabi. Tayo ay mag-ingat-ingat sa ating pangangatawan. And if we have any concerns, let us just always visit our doctors. And actually, kahit nga wala ka pang nararamdaman, visit them regularly, get yourself checked annually, so at least we can provide or we can ensure that we have a healthy body, and that's very important, especially in this time of pandemic. And right now, I would just like to thank Apollo Clinic for partnering with Qabayan Radio and being on our very first episode. Ayan, palakpakan natin ang Apollo Clinic. And of course, thank you, Dr. Ribas, for joining us, and also Dr. Mary Grace, who was with us earlier para sa mga health naman ng mga bata. And again, mga kabayan, this will be a regular programming that we will be providing you. So in the next weeks, we will be having more episodes for The Doctor is In, only here at Qabayan Radio. Right now, we'll go on a short break and I'll be back with you shortly. Thank you for tuning into Qabayan Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go! Qabayan Radio 94.3, the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar. 3 stars and a sun. On air, on ground, and online. Qabayan Radio 94.3 FM.
This is the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go! Qabayan Radio 94.3, the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar. 3 stars and a sun. On air, on ground, and online. Qabayan Radio 94.3 FM.
Qabayan Radio 94.3, loud and proud. Mga kababayan. Qabayan Radio 94.3.
This is the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Qabayan Radio